For your first period world history class, you recently used Unified Classroom to put together an assessment. You created this assessment to review the main ideas behind a unit that covered the first civilizations. Today you will administer the online assessment, and then use the proctoring tool to monitor your students' progress as they take the test. To be able to administer an assessment, it must first be listed as an assignment in the Recent Assignments area of the dashboard. So create a new assignment, and then attach your existing assessment to that assignment. On the dashboard, click the plus sign in the upper right corner. Give the assignment a name. Keep it simple by naming it the same as the assessment. Next, enter a description in the text box. Open the Gradebook category menu and choose a category. For this assessment, choose Test. Under Student Work Type, open the menu. Now choose from 3 types of assessments: online, offline, and key type. Choose online when a teacher created the assessment in Unified Classroom, and the students will take the assessment online. Choose offline when the assessment is in Unified Classroom, but the teacher will print the assessment and the bubble sheets, and students will take the test offline. This might happen if students don't have access to computers. A teacher would choose key type when she has a test that she will not enter into the system. Instead, she enters the correct responses into the system, and then students use bubble sheets to record their responses. The teacher scans the bubble sheets to enter the scores in the system. In this case, you want the students to take this assessment online, so choose Assessment Online. Because you selected an online assessment, you see additional options for selecting the test to use and for defining how to administer it. In the assessment area, click Choose to select the existing assessment to attach to this assignment. To find an assessment, choose how you want to search for it. Open the first menu to see the options. In this case, you know the name of the assessment, so choose Name as the method. In the next field, start typing the name of the assessment. Then hover your cursor over the name and click the plus sign to attach it. The assessment is now attached to the assignment. Next, view the options in the administration area. Determine how you want this assessment to be delivered. It's a good idea to randomize the items, so verify that the option is checked. Randomizing the items makes it more difficult for students to share answers. Now select Student View and Feedback. You want students to see both their scores and their answers, so open the menu and choose Scores and Responses. There will be a time limit on this test, so select Time Limit Minutes. For the time limit, enter 50 minutes. For students to see a timer as they take the test, select Display Timer. Use the Locked option when the assessment will be used by more than one of your classes. Administer the assessment to one class without the later classes seeing the assessment in advance. If students from other classes try to open the assessment, they will see the Session Locked screen. Use the Assessment Proctor page to unlock the assessment. Since this assessment is only for your first period class, leave this field blank. Next, consider the choices in the Accessibility area. Select Font Size in case some students want to adjust the size of the font. Some students may need a larger font size when taking the online test. Under Navigation and Display, you want students to have access to the Answer Eliminator, so select that. Students can use the Answer Eliminator to visually cross out answer options they know are not correct. To give students access to the Pause button, the Previous Item button, and the Progress bar, select those. In the Scheduling area, use today's date as the due date since you will administer it today. Next, make the test available to students immediately because you want to administer the test today. Be aware that you have other options in this menu and that you can choose a specific day if you'd rather. For score type, use points and make this assessment worth 100 points. This assessment will count in the final grade, so check that option. Verify which section will take this test. Last, click Save and Close to save the assignment and return to the dashboard. On the dashboard, the assignment is listed in the Recent Assignments area in the upper right corner of the screen. Students will also see this assignment on their dashboards. Once your students are gathered in the computer lab, they can take this online assessment. You will monitor the test session using Unified Classroom's proctoring tool. To access the proctoring tool, on the dashboard, hover your cursor over the appropriate assignment and click the play icon. 4 columns are listed on the assessment proctor page. The first column shows the students' names, and each has a checkbox next to it. If you need to, you can select one or more students and then perform an action for those students, but you'll learn more about that in a minute. The status column shows one of 5 icons. A gray circle means not started. A gray checkmark in a dotted circle means in progress. The pause icon means the assessment has been paused. A green checkmark in a circle means complete. And a lock icon means the assessment is locked, preventing the student from continuing the test. In the active column, a green checkmark indicates that the student is active within the session. A gray dash indicates that the student is not active. You would want to determine why a student was not active in the session. The current item column displays the number of the item the student is currently working on. You can see which students are progressing well through the test and which are lagging behind. Use the checkboxes next to the students' names to select one or more students. Click the checkbox at the top of the screen next to Student to select all students. For now, select a couple of students, and then open the Actions menu. Take a look at the options listed there. Choose Pause to save the student's answers and stop the test temporarily for that student. For example, if he or she needs to use the restroom. Be aware that you must click Resume before the student can continue after returning to class. Choose Extend Time to add to the time that students have to take the assessment. Choose Go To enter an item number in the field that directs a student or students to that item. Choose Save and Exit to save the student's answers and to close the test. Choose Discard and Exit to discard the student's answers and to close the test. You might have to use this option if you caught the student cheating. Choose Submit and Exit to submit the assessment for the student or students and to close the test. Choose Discard Results to discard answers for students who have completed the assessment. So remember, to set up a test session, first make the assessment an assignment. You'll see the assignment on the dashboard in the Recent Assignments area. To administer the test, hover your cursor over the assignment name and click the play icon. Review how your students are managing as they take the assessment. Is everyone active in the session? What item numbers are they on? Last, use the Actions menu to manage the proctoring options. Do you need to pause the test for one or more students? Do you need to extend the time? You see that most of your students are almost finished, and that few of them are encountering any problems. One student put himself on pause by mistake, but you were able to quickly resume his session. It's really handy to be able to monitor your students' progress from one screen. You can't wait to try this again with your next class.